I know the best way to help those on the front lines fighting COVID-19 is to stay at home. And while the circuit breaker is officially over, restrictions on many activities remain. We still can't eat out, freely visit friends and family. Looks like we'll have to stay home a bit longer. And the cabin fever is really getting to me. But what if we could go wherever we wanted without leaving the house? We've woken up in a new world. It's changing everything, from the way we work, the way we eat, the way we greet each other. I'm back to help you make sense of these, unprecedented times. I know things are up in the air, but I'm going to tell you how to survive a pandemic. During the circuit breaker, this was the only way I could catch up with my friends.
This year didn't happen.
I miss being able to just touch people, you know.
How about you, Leonoi? How are you? You had to miss a trip, right? And we were supposed to be in Japan at the same time.
That was probably the most gut-wrenching because I had really grand plans, you know. As you guys know, I wanted to get engaged with my girlfriend.
Let me bring up something. Wait a minute, you see even my virtual background also doesn't work. I'm supposed to be in Japan now.
No, Japan is
It
outside.
doesn't even work. Okay, wait.
What a failed attempt at virtual travel.
Josh.
Oh, mine
It's
also
an
does
online
that.
virus now.
The last time I actually got on a plane was more than a year ago. Since March 27, Singaporeans have been advised to cancel all overseas travel until further notice. Commercial flight traffic has fallen dramatically since 2019. And experts predict that the earliest that we can resume overseas travel is the end of 2020. Feels like an eternity away. But what if I could experience Japan from my sofa? Virtual reality is entering a 3D space and exploring the world within it. We can enter it using these portable headsets. Some give you a 360 view from a fixed position, and some let you roam around freely. We can use anything from $1,000 headsets to $5 cardboard boxes to enter different worlds. Today, I'm going to use VR to travel to Japan with Google Earth.
Tilt Earth down. Ha! Whoa! Oh! Nice!
There are many VR travel apps, but only Google Earth lets you go to any part of the world and do all this.
Look at that sunrise. I can control my own sunrise. Yeah, is that Mount Fuji? It looks like a big zit on the surface of Japan. Let's go to see some sakuras. Is this supposed to be my sakura? Hi. It's like a lump of pink coral. Well, this is disappointing. Okay, bye Japan. Ooh.
That wasn't what I had expected. I can see why virtual travel hasn't taken off. I'm going to call someone who's also in a very different part of the world. A Silicon Valley VR thought leader who has some interesting ideas about how this pandemic can help virtual travel take off.
Is there anything that can be done to improve the experience of VR travel?
Google Earth is pretty impressive, but it uses this technique called photogrammetry, where it uses satellite images to kind of recreate the Earth, right? And so you're going to lose some visual fidelity because of the satellite imagery. The other thing that, thinking about what was lacking about the experience is that it's a solitary experience. If we could have gone in Google Earth, both of us at the same time, and we can walk around it, and I could kind of tour you through some of my favorite noodle places to eat in Tokyo. You know, I think that would add a lot more to it as well. I have talked to a couple companies that are working on the smell part of it too. So definitely touch is another one. So there are a lot of people that are doing these gloves that can let you kind of feel the world a little bit more. But people experimenting with taste and how you could actually wear this device that sits on your tongue.
Yeah, how does that work?
Shoots electricity into your tongue.
Electricity
to
in my tongue.
stimulate the different senses of flavor.
Has VR travel picked up during this lockdown period?
Absolutely. It's more anecdotal right now, but definitely a lot of people are using VR to escape.
I'm still personally unsure if VR escapism will take off. But VR in education is well on its way. Its market is expected to grow by $6.34 billion by 2024. And this pandemic may be helping. Around 500,000 students in Singapore are doing home-based learning online.
Scan this QR code.
But one tech-savvy instructor is trying to kick it up a notch with VR 360 live streaming for his photography class.
I'm gonna put it into the cardboard, yeah.
I'm going to be a student today.
Wow, I'm in your living room right now. And I see, oh, there you are, John. Okay, John, I think you're going a bit too far. John, can you hear me, John?
But how can I learn if I can't hear a thing he says?
I don't know, is this... Don't students get confused? I feel like I would get confused if I'm not familiar with the technology.
Well, I think we're now kind of making do with what we have. I think COVID-19 really rushed everybody into using the devices and the tools, but really a lot of things needed to be sorted out still. But we already have other solutions that can walk you into the real virtual world now.
Whoa!
And man, was it a world of difference.
There you go. We shook hands in virtual handshakes, right?
Students could start using virtual reality or VR more often as part of their lessons.
It's an exciting moment for VR in education. The market for it is expected to grow by almost 60% this year. John is an educator who has taught remotely and is now going to show me his new VR classroom.
Wow, nice conference room here. Ah, nice to meet you, John. I get to shake hands with you.
The safest way to shake hands now during COVID-19.
Meet in VR is a just-launched app from Denmark geared towards helping businesses and schools have collaborative meetings.
So when actually COVID-19 came, we started to look at this as a serious solution to bring our students to be able to do collaborative work, to be able to do discussions. You can actually experience lots of things. For example, I can pull out my little tablet, pull a PowerPoint, for example, and I can pull it up like this on the screen.
What? Wow, and I can like pass it to the next person, just like in a classroom.
And you take this pen, you can actually draw in the space.
Nice. People can immediately understand whatever concepts that you want to illustrate, right? In 3D.
Exactly. When we talked about Zoom previously, you found that you were just staring at a screen and we weren't very sure whether the students were really learning or paying attention. But here, if you notice, you will be actually giving me some eye contact.
This is definitely the classroom I want to be in times of COVID-19. Why aren't teachers using tools like this to conduct their home-based learning yet?
These are very, very new tools. I think it's about educating the educators themselves to know what's available.
Then everyone needs to have a headset, right?
Yes, so the equipment is going to be one of the questions on how we're going to actually make that available. But if you look at about 3 years ago, devices were in the thousands of dollars. Today, you can get them in the hundreds of dollars. So it's a matter of time, I think, where the technology will be truly affordable. So I think it's down to the educators now to step up and be able to say, look, I'm going to embrace a new technology that's going to make the learning experience better for my students.
The benefits of VR over traditional teaching methods have been well researched. One study found that, compared to 2D flat screens, VR learning platforms can help students improve memory recall by up to 8.8%. Well, now, I'm going from the classroom to a completely different kind of party. Who says you can't find love in a time of social distancing? I'm being introduced to an app called Big Screen.
Are both of you on a date right now?
Yes.
I'm at this romantic campfire, feeling very extra next to Casey and Sid.
Here's the truth. We never kind of went on a real date. Lunch doesn't count. Okay. I would consider that one a date.
Oh, you would? Okay.
So once Josh is gone, we can talk more about this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like a third wheel over here.
I feel like you can do way more in here than even in real life.
Are you serious?
I'm thinking like I can like shoot people in here. I can race with Casey.
There's very large screens where we could watch a movie. I like to share my own pictures and my own videos.
Also, I feel like on a video call, people are just distracted. Like I would be on a video call, but I could mentally check out.
Big Screen is a VR social platform where users all around the world can interact with each other. Casey is using it to meet potential love interests during this circuit breaker. 'Cause what's better than Netflix and chill on a date?
Why are you doing this?
I'm recently single. I had never been in this whole like dating app world before, and I was really, really frustrated with that process. Then the whole coronavirus and COVID-19 came around, and I was like, well, I don't want to go out anyway. And since I work in virtual realities, I was like, wait a minute, maybe I can meet somebody that as a potential love interest. I had struggled finding people in Singapore that would even do a VR date with me. Yeah, so I had to go to Twitter, I had to go to Oculus on Reddit. I got stood up on my very first VR date.
Why do you think people in Singapore, why are we resistant?
The way VR is presented as a consumer product, it's heavily marketed to the male gamer. To me, that's a problem because I can see this being a really amazing tool for women, and VR kind of allows a woman to protect her body so that she doesn't get raped or date raped. So these are sort of little interesting things that I'm learning on this journey and sharing with other women.
So despite all this potential to enable love and learning in a safe environment, VR is still mainly seen as a gamer's toy. In the US and UK, only 16% of women had tried VR versus 30% of men. Only 26 million people worldwide own headsets, a far cry from what tech giants predicted years ago. But that could all change once the technology allows anyone to experience VR with just a pair of spectacles or contact lenses. And with 5G, break free from the boundaries of a room to run freely on the streets. A world where we can do everything from entertainment, shopping, and eating out in VR. Could that be how we save our economy from COVID-19? We're facing what's possibly the worst global recession since the Great Depression. The International Monetary Fund projects a 3% contraction of the global economy in 2020. While us staying at home is needed to curb the spread of the virus, it's crippling businesses who rely on people going out and using their services to survive. It's a grim picture. But what if we could fill these with customers in the virtual world?
Welcome to our virtual 360 show flat.
Chris is a real estate agent for this building. Because of circuit breaker restrictions, he's had no in-person visitors these few months. But apparently, he's had over 1,000 virtual visitors. And today, that includes me.
So this is how you will feel when you're standing inside the kitchen. while doing your cooking. We help our customers to understand the size of it by using a virtual tour, by looking at the furnitures that the show flat has provided. We do have real cases, transactions that is done during this period by using the virtual tour.
Wow, just by virtual tour.
For those who don't own a VR headset, ERA made it possible to view these show flats in 3D just on a computer screen. It cost them a few $1,000s and 2 weeks to put up 63 tours on the website. And other businesses have done the same. So perhaps we could do virtual restaurants, shopping centers, and entertainment. But for me, the greatest loss isn't financial. I'm turning 35 in a few days. And this year, I won't be able to celebrate with my family. I'm going to try something out.
Hi, Roy.
Roy's company designs all sorts of VR experiences, but never anything like this before.
So I'm just thinking, like, is it possible to design a VR birthday party?
What kind of activities would you like to have?
I don't know, actually. Because thinking in real life, probably what I'll do with my family is we will gather for a meal, lunch or a dinner, and then like cut a cake, sing a song, that kind of thing.
I think in addition to that, we can have plan some maybe fun activities for your family to like play together.
Okay. Is this something you think you can start like pursuing further in your business?
In this kind of situation, there might be a bit demand for it. So we are actually looking into like pursuing this as a business.
My head is already exploding with ideas. I could get Roy to do this for my friends missing their big life events too, if this works out.
Do you think you can pull it off?
We are pretty confident with this some tests. We're going to test with our own family members as well.
Finally, the big day is here.
Jotam, is that you?
Yeah.
Jotam, is that you? It's you!
Oh, hello, happy birthday!
Hi, thank you.
High five,
Your name
high
looks
five.
yeah. High five! Yay!
Oh, yay, shake hands!
Yay! You can shake hands now.
Happy 35th birthday, wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, Roy, you really did 35 tears, ah? Is it really 35 tears?
I haven't seen my entire clan in 2 months, and yet here we are.
Oh my gosh, there's bowling. Okay, wait. Okay, get it. Everyone, come.
Whose turn is it now? Nicholas' turn, is it?
Oh no!
We even got more than we bargained for from my nephew.
Oh my gosh, Jotam's just shooting people. This is the worst thing ever, to have a kid who can teleport. Stop it, Jotam. It's just chaos. What is happening? Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Yeah, picture. Can we take a picture?
We couldn't have done all this on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having us. Bye-bye, love you all. Bye-bye.
Although, I wish we had the technology to make everything look less cartoony. But all it took Roy was a weekend and some remote coordination to set it up. From everything I've experienced, I'm getting the sense that we could live out our entire lives in VR.
I wonder what a full day in these would feel like. Well, since I've got nothing else to do today, might as well give it a go. Starting now. Okay, see that's the wall, right? Let's start with some mindfulness, right?
The first few hours were easy. I spent the entire morning doing this.
Don't point your gun at me. You just point a blaster at me. This is really cool, man. I'm like inside this spaceship flying alongside TIE fighters. This is, super immersive.
And then came my first real challenge.
This is eating with my VR goggles still on. Cheers! Where's my It's like, I must aim properly, make sure it's there, and then put it in my mouth. Is this reality?
But things got a little harder after that.
Okay, I'm out of this. I'm getting a headache now. I'm out of that, man. Okay, this is relaxing for a while. Oh, I like this. Oh man, this is cool. Is this like therapeutic or what?
After rest and dinner, I suddenly had a burst of energy for one last workout. Sitting down.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I missed that! It's fun.
And finally...
Oh my gosh. Ouch. Oh, what a relief. There's color in the room. Oh, I feel so puffy. In the middle of the day, when I started to feel the headache, slight nausea coming up, I also suddenly felt like my heart beating a bit faster. I just suddenly started beating faster. We're not doing this anymore. So while it is humanly possible to spend the whole day in VR, the experience isn't quite good enough for me to do that just yet. But in smaller doses, it does make staying at home so much better. And that's why it matters. What day is it again?